A royal tradition long spoken of in hushed tones but recorded in countless genealogical charts is that of cousin marriages, and Charles and Diana were no exception. In centuries past, such kinship was deliberately preserved to strengthen alliances, to consolidate wealth, and to ensure that noble bloodlines remained interwoven. And while the practice has waned in an age of broader social mobility, its remnants are still visible within the annals of Britain's royal family tree. Diana herself was born into one of England's most distinguished noble families, the Spencers, whose roots reach back to medieval times and whose connection to royalty extended far beyond her marriage, while Charles, heir to the throne from birth, carried within him not only the legacy of the Windsors, but also the intermingled threads of European dynasties that had for centuries chosen partners from within their own rank. For few royal watchers realize that behind the fairy tale facade of their 1981 wedding lay an ancestral connection stretching back centuries, a reminder that the House of Windsor and the Spencer family were never as distant as they seemed, both tracing their lineage to King Henry VII, the first Tudor monarch who seized the crown in 1485, and whose reign set the foundation for dynastic unions across Europe. It is through him that Charles and Diana are revealed to be 16th cousins once removed, a detail that might surprise the modern observer, but was hardly unusual within the aristocratic circles of old. Historians note that such ties create fascinating patterns across history. Elizabeth and Prince Philip, themselves third cousins through Queen Victoria, embodied the same tradition, as did countless monarchs before them, from Habsburg emperors to Bourbon kings, where the weaving of cousin unions was less a curiosity than a strategy for survival. For Charles and Diana, the revelation of shared ancestry adds a genealogical twist to a marriage that already occupies a legendary place in royal history. For theirs was the union that ushered the monarchy into a modern age of televised weddings, global fascination, and ultimately, heartbreaking collapse. That they were kin, however distant, underscores how insular aristocratic networks remained even in the late 20th century, and how in many ways Diana, despite her image as the people's princess, was in fact part of a lineage deeply tied to the crown she married into. To genealogists, the notion of Charles and Diana as 16th cousins once removed is not scandalous but intriguing, for it highlights the continuity of bloodlines that have carried the monarchy across centuries of wars, reforms, and revolutions. And for those who view history through the lens of fate, it is tempting to wonder whether such ancestral bonds predisposed their story to its mix of grandeur and tragedy. Their shared Tudor link, stretching back to the dynasty that brought stability after the Wars of the Roses, serves as a reminder that even in the most modern of times, the monarchy remains tethered to its medieval past, its romances entwined with dynastic realities, and its unions, however celebrated, carrying with them echoes of decisions made by kings and queens long buried beneath abbey stones. And so, when we reflect on Charles and Diana, it is not merely as husband and wife, or as the ill-fated couple whose marriage reshaped the monarchy, but also as distant kin, bound by ancestry as well as destiny, a detail that renders their story not only iconic, but also genealogically profound.